Yes, and that takes me back to a verse I was reading in Zechariah, you know, about, I'm going to bring that oppressed back up again. To subjugate or persecute by unjust or tyrannical use of force or authority. Like the police force and the authorities, how they use tyrannical force against us, shooting us down, killing us, murdering us, and then they go to court, everything be on video cam and everything. Not guilty. Yeah, it reminds me of that verse of Zechariah chapter 14. Zechariah chapter 11. We're going to pick it up at the 3. There is a voice of howling of the shepherds of Israel, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith Yahweh my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors, people who own them and purchase them, slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich. And their own shepherds or leaders or preachers pity them not. Wow. We're going to take that back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. And thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. How was they doing this in slavery? Yeah, every night they come and pick up your wife. This is your wife, the mother of your children. You might get 30 slave owners coming there and pick her up, and have their way with her all night and everything, and send her back in there to you. And you got to live with it. Or they might do it right in front of your face. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. All these churches, schools, hospitals, everything. We build houses, man. Just think of it. And where did we stay? We stayed in the barn, chained up by our neck like animals. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes there. We planted all these gardens, these cotton fields, these orchards, these vineyards, everything, and couldn't gather one grape out of it because we was working for our freedom, supposedly. We're going to pick it up at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Like on the slave trade, after we got to America, on the plantations, you can be raising your kid, man. He be 14 years old. You trying to tell your son it's gonna be all right, man. We just gotta stay in here, man. Have faith, man. And then white man walk right to the gate. I give you $1,500 for that young buck right there. That's your boy gone. You'll probably never see him again. We would probably never reconnect again. And and it hurts you. And then when you take your son off this plantation, where the plantation master kind of went a little easy because you got some years in, he taking your son over here, man, where he don't know nothing about him. He gonna have to break him in like a horse. He might not even live through the torture, man. This is what we went through, man. The whole world did us like this, and everybody said that they don't have no solution for us. They don't know why. Well, it's too late for you to come up one now, because Yahweh here to turn the tables. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh. We're going to pick it up at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors, we labor for 400 years, shall a nation, America, which thou knowest not, eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed, constant police after us, killing, murdering, holding themselves not guilty, and crushed always. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Verse 36 of chapter 28 of Deuteronomy. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. All these gods we serving in America, bowing down to a Christmas tree, singing a song to a Statue of Liberty, pledging allegiance to a flag that can't hear, breathe, smell, talk, or even stand up and say anything for you, and you pledge an allegiance to this image? Scriptures. And thou shalt become an astonishment. The whole tribe of Judah shall become an astonishment in America. Astonishment. Out of the book of understanding. I love this book of understanding. great surprise or amazement. So we will become a great surprise or amazement, a cause of amazement, a marvel, where everybody just looking at you amazed, like, dang, them niggas did what? Man, they killing each other like that? You know, the whole world watching, because everybody know who he is. The only people who don't know who he is us. Because see, once we came to America, and note this, America is the first nation and the only nation on the planet Earth who seeked to take our knowledge of who we are, where we're from, language, history, culture, and God, and toss it out and teach us their gods. But if you do your history and you do your research, every nation on the planet Earth has one way and one God to each nation. The Chinese, they got their customs, they have their culture, they have their God, which is Buddha. The Arabians, they have their customs, their culture, and their God, which is Allah. The Spanish, they have their culture, their language, and their God, Jesus, you know, and so on and so forth with every single nation. But when you come to the black man of America, he ain't got his language, he ain't got his culture, you know. He doesn't have anything linking him to nothing, and the only God he holding on to is the God that the enemy then taught him to bow down and worship. And this slave who upholds this God will almost be ready to take somebody's life for bringing facts against belief and suspense. What a sad time we living in. So back to thou shalt become an astonishment in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37. Thou shalt become an astonishment. Everybody puzzled and amazed at your condition. They looking at you like, oh my God. A proverb and a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead thee. So not only is people going to be looking at you crazy, you are going to become a proverb and a byword among all nations where Yahweh shall lead thee. So let us define proverb in the book of understanding, same book that I've been holding up to you the whole time. So far we have people looking at us in amazement. We are cause of amazement, a marvel. People just like. Now we're going to look up proverb. Proverb. A short, filthy saying in frequent and widespread use. And this short, filthy saying that they're calling us is expressing a well-known truth or fact. A person or thing recognized as a typical example. One that is proverbial. Now let's back up proverb and break this down. So not only is everybody going to be looking at us amazed and marveling, they're also going to be calling us a short, filthy saying that's frequently said all the time and used all over. And this name that they're going to be calling us is going to be expressing a well-known truth or fact. And we're going to be looked at as a person that's a typical example. And come on, y'all. We already know what this name is. Nigger. Let's define nigger in the Random House Webster's College Dictionary, okay? So we can get a clear understanding of why the world is looking at us in amazement. And this definition that I'm about to read is got me looking at each other, looking at my own people amazed too. Because this definition is cut to the chase. I mean, man. Nigger. The term nigger is now probably the most offensive word in English. That's the worst thing you can say to somebody in the whole entire English tongue. Its degree of offensiveness has increased markedly in recent years, although it has been used in a derogatory manner since at least the Revolutionary War. Definitions 1A and 1B and 2 represent meanings that are deeply disparaging and are used when the speaker deliberately wishes to cause great offense. So when they say nigga, they use it to make you feel like you just nothing or reduced, and they mean it to hurt your feelings. Definition 1A, however, is sometimes used among African Americans in a neutral or familiar way. They're like, man, we done killed and slayed these niggas, dogging them out. Now they done took the word we gave them and they using it as party time. So that right there making the whole world look at you like, Wait, first we killed them and made it and forced them to take nigga. Now they took nigga and run with it. Now it's just pastime. What up, nigga? Okay. Definition 3 is not normally considered disparaging, as in the Irish are the niggers of Europe. But the other uses are considered contemptuous and hostile, extremely disparaging and offensive. A contemptuous term used to refer to a black person. There they go, they labeled it on you, nigga. A contemptuous term used to refer to a member of any dark-skinned people. Extremely disparaging and offensive. A contemptuous term used to refer to a person of any race or origin regarded as contemptible, inferior, ignorant, etc. A victim of prejudice similar to that suffered by blacks. A person who was economically, politically, or socially disenfranchised. Now everybody know that verse right there niggas need to be walking around with that verse on the back of their shirts. Because yes, it does point us out to being the niggas. Now, we're going to take it back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment. That's when everybody looking at you crazy. A proverb. They're going to be calling you niggas and you're going to be using it yourself in a familiar way. And a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead you. And we've been led through all the nations, so the whole world is guilty of calling us niggas. Ain't that something? But let's break down byword, because I ain't even mad at y'all. Man, I'm not radical or nothing, man. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm just a spectator this day. Y'all got to deal with Yahweh. He didn't reserve this day. Because y'all didn't beat us down and call us niggas and stomp us out and kill us off. You know, we going through punishment for what he did. But see, what you did, you broke down what we were supposed to represent. So now you didn't attack us. No, you didn't attack us. You have just attacked Yahweh. And y'all thinking, oh man, that was so, man, man, we've been killing these, man, it's going on 500, 600 years. Yeah, well, you better understand prophecy, because one day to Yahweh is 1,000 years to us. Now, let's look up byword. Byword, a word or phrase associated with some person or thing. And this word that's associated with this person or thing is a common saying. And a common saying is broke down in this dictionary to be a proverb, which is a short 50 saying that's frequently said and used all over. A person regarded as embodiment of a particular quality, an object of reproach or scorn, and impotent. So now we can read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37 with a clear understanding. And thou shalt become an astonishment. Everybody looking at you crazy. A proverb and a byword. They're going to be looking at you crazy like, these niggas is crazy as hell. Prophecy. 5th book of Deuteronomy. Right now. Going on right now. Not the New Testament that they said the Old Testament done away with. Everything I'm basically showing you right now is basically within the first 5 to 8 books of the Bible where I'm pulling most of this information regarding today, right now, 2010. I ain't even made it to the New Testament yet that they said that's already took place. But we live in this life right now in 2010, and I'm reading out the book of Deuteronomy. So you tell me, was the New Testament staged? Okay, that's another lesson. Back to the curse. And I'm going to pick it up at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. A sign is to identify. Now, them folks that's calling themselves Jews, I don't never hear them, people looking at them crazy, calling them niggas, screwing they women, they building houses, they working in vineyards, you know what I'm saying? They getting pulled over by the police, stomped down, murdered, and killed. You know what I'm saying? They getting scattered around the world in the slave trade. Everything they do is curse and rebuke and reject. I can't match this up with the Jewish people. But I sure can't match it up to my people right here in America.